Well, joining me now is Mandy Colleran, an actor and disability activist with Not Dead Yet UK. And that fundamentally is because you really believe any change at all in the law is the beginning of a slippery slope.
Well, yes, I think it's more than that. It's a dangerous precedent to set, because although the issue of death is a very emotive one, that's the thing, and nobody wants anybody to have an end that is painful or undignified. However, when you set up a law that affects everybody, then the issues become much more complicated than one individual's personal dignity, I'm afraid.
But then, I hate to personalise it immediately,
Surely.
But what would you say to Sandy Bryden, who we just heard?
That's a difficult one. I don't know her at all. I don't know her circumstances.
No, but she is saying, look, I don't want a painful, miserable death where my children have me crying
Sure.
and in pain. I would like to choose the moment at which,
Sure.
ultimately, I say I'm still, able to say
Sure.
this is when I want to go, and my children can see me and say goodbye.
I think, I would never want to, like Sandy, I would never want to see her have a painful death. Certainly not want her family or her friends to see her suffering either. But there are ways of doing that, I think. If you look at what the BMA are recommending, they're absolutely opposed to assisted dying. And what ourselves and the BMA are looking for is a high-quality, complete and thorough range of palliative care that ensures that everybody gets the kind of dignified death that they need. That is not about foreshortening life, but it's about giving people a dignified end.
But there we get to the absolute nub of the issue, because the dangerous thing is that with the state running short of money, the NHS starved of funds, social care in crisis, you say, well, perhaps we should let them go.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? Because people like disabled people, elderly people, people with long-term medical conditions are having a very hard time at the moment, what with benefit cuts. As you quite rightly said, the NHS is being decimated before our eyes. We're actually being made to feel like burdens to society, and that doesn't help a sense of feeling that it's okay to grow older, to be ill, to be a disabled person. And so what we're seeing is a very gradual process of coercion, which tells us and tells everybody, actually, you don't really want to end up like that, because that would be the worst thing in the world. So, you're better to go before you end up like that. And that's a really divisive and undermining thing, because everybody has a contribution to make.
But ultimately, is it right at least to review what the position is at the moment?
Well, the problem is, we've had, I think, 3 or 4 in the last 15 years, parliamentary looks at this. And each time Parliament, as well as the review taken under by the BMA, have concluded that actually ending people's lives, giving them assisted suicide, is not an appropriate way to look at giving people dignified care. And what we're arguing is actually we want dignified lives for people that end up having dignified deaths as well, but not foreshortening people's lives, because society views them as a burden, or they're made to feel themselves like a burden to their families, their friends, the state.
Mandy, you've very handily balanced our picture here, and we've had you and we've heard the other side too.